Replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Why are some people more successful? As you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome in a Thirsty Thursday edition of the show. It's Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Got to bring the plane down, but not for another 2 hours. 2 hours of On the Block for you, an hour of old school WTF. Here through it all. Eric Strickland. I'm Austin Norman. This show brought to you by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese, special ingredient butcher shop with 3 Lincoln locations and 1 up in Omaha. Make sure you check out Fired Up Friday tomorrow with the 84th and Havelock location. The $15 high-quality gourmet meal for you starting at 11 a.m. until they're sold out. First come, first serve, 84th and Havelock tomorrow at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. E-Strick!
What it do?
What it do you? How you do?
Yeah, man. You see what it is. Got to get Thirsty Thursday ready. Perk up a little bit. Mill coffee. Shout out to Luke. Handling business up front. Always Luke and the whole staff over there at the mill. Mix it up. You know, you can go over there, get your sandwich. You can get you a glass of wine if you want to, or brewski, whatever you want.
How about
that? But I'm definitely sipping on a nice little espresso. Tastes good. Shout out to the mill.
Big shout out to the mill. Down here, 1040 O Street. That's where you can find us. Walk by the window here on the corner of 11th and O. Give us a wave, pop in, say hi, all that great stuff. We love to
and say, she. Yeah. Walk by and say, she.
Eric says, pause, Strick.
Yeah.
I don't know what you've been doing yet.
That's my man. No, E is the Thirsty Thursday pause of the day. We might need to create a segment for E for the pause. You know, we good. Shout out to E, Eric. We appreciate you, man. Continuously listening. 402-464-5685. Sutter Heyman text line. The Jewelers video stream is always up, and you can always tap in there. Get into the comments. Like, follow, share, all that good stuff. Allo 961. You can also get on there and check us out if you don't have an opportunity to do so. Especially when we go to stream and you can't hear us on radio.
And why do we go to stream, Stricky?
Well, you know, because it might be some after dark comments.
No, it might be. Your Kansas City Royals.
Oh, that is. Oh gosh.
Just wrapped up a road sweep of the Tampa Bay Rays, 8-2 today. Bobby Witt Jr. goes deep. Now is a 22-game hit streak. First sweep for Kansas City of Tampa Bay since 2016.
They need it.
First road sweep of Tampa Bay since the year I was born.
They definitely need it.
1998. Your Kansas City Royals have won 9 of their last 10 games. They're above 500. They're headed to Baltimore on a high. Stricky, we got this text from the text line from Brad. He knew where we were going. Brad comments, Braun gone. How y'all feeling? T-Wolves in 5, Stricky.
Lakers in 5. Lakers in 5.
Lakers home in 5.
Lakers in 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. King.
What do you say? T-Moo, Oo-Moo, Lee-Moo. Lakers in 5. Yeah, man. Look, so here's the deal. You can get away with a lot of things in the regular season. You can make runs. Teams have to prepare for other teams. Then you only get one shot at them. But Austin, when you get into the playoffs, my boy, one of the things that it has been the most consistent thing about the NBA playoffs throughout time is it becomes about matchups. It becomes about what differentiates you between the team that you're playing. If there's a team that's a half-court team, you're trying to make sure that they're not able to get into their half-court stuff with enough time to get the ball movement or to get the look or to be able to get out of the double team. Mm-hmm. If you're dealing with a Shaq or you're dealing with a Olajuwon or you're dealing with, someone that's significant in the post, a Ewing, that they have an advantage over you. Like Ewing against Sean Bradley is very much, we probably are doubling. You know what I'm saying? Sean can handle some guys, but, he's probably one that wouldn't be the case. So that's the issue, because then a fast break team, your goal then in a 7-game series is to slow them down. Mm. So you're going to take away easy opportunities. You want to get them. So I'm talking about differentiators. You're talking about mismatch, individual, mano y mano. Where is that at? And then you're talking about style differentials, where if that's the case and they're a half-court team and Doc Rivers is the point guard or Mark Jackson is the point guard for an Indiana team with Rick Smits and Reggie Miller, and they're very big and they're long, and they're going to try to half-court you to death. And so my job would be in a playoff scenario to pressure Mark Jackson so that shot clock is at about 14 when they're trying to get into their stuff. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And now they don't have enough time and they've got to kind of get going. So that's what I mean about differential styles. And then you've got to win the, certain aspects of the game. You got to make sure you win the turnover. You got to win the 50-50 balls. You got
rebounding.
You know what I'm saying? Then there's things that you need to win in order to solidify it. You got to make free throws when you need to close out a game or to get back into a game, so forth and so on. So with the Lakers, now I'm getting to this point. With the Lakers, their issue was when they weren't able to make that trade with Connect and Williams and get a rim running,
a 5
defensive, internal front court guy. When they weren't able to do that, we knew that size-wise was going to be their deficiency. So LeBron was going to have to play out of place. It was a frustration that Anthony Davis had that they weren't able to get right, to get him to the 4 position. This is why the trade was made. Now, guess who they're hunting? Luka.
Even more than usual.
And Reeves.
Even more than usual.
Right? That's a hunt. Even Hachimura a little bit.
Yeah.
Front court.
Yeah.
Not necessarily exterior. Now, when they switch to Ant Edwards, that becomes a whole different story. You know what I'm saying? So that's where Rudy Gobert.
The French Connection. The Stifle Tower.
That's where he showed up.
Woo! 27, 24, 2 blocks, a game high plus 18, 9 offensive rebounds, Stricky.
But he had those before. So guess what they did? They lost. but they went and watched the tape, and they said, we're not going to adjust to make it size advantage to them. We're going to pound.
Pause.
Where they were able to get it off is long shots equate to long rebounds, which favors a Rudy Gobert with length, size, can hold the guy to a spot. Longer rebounds is usually going to get an opportunity to get to him.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that Ant went nuts, 15 points, right?
Well, and terrible efficiency. He was 5 of 19, 0 of 11 from 3, and only 5 of 8 at the free throw line.
Right. Naz Reid only gets 3 points, right? McDaniels, foul trouble, didn't play much, right? The guys that you would expect on that team to be the ones, the unexpected is the thing that beat them on the road, or that allowed them to get the win, the road win, and that was Rudy Gobert going buck wild.
And Julius Randle stepping up.
And him too.
Again, that's a pretty true power forward in this
Yeah.
matchup, right? I mean, you have probably in the starting lineup, you had Hachimura and James taking turns on Gobert, but Julius Randle isn't scared of either one of those guys. It's a freight train going downhill, and especially Strick in those moments where you've had either LeBron or Rui Hachimura on Rudy Gobert. You guarded Tim Duncan. You guarded some centers. That picture of you and Yao Ming that you bring up, that wears on you when you're not that size.
Yeah.
So they spend possession after possession battling down low for possession, trying to move their feet, get around. Now, all of a sudden, you're on the perimeter and a freight train like Julius Randle's coming at you. That's not easy.
And after you've played you played the whole freaking game, definitely the whole second half.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, they've got work to do in the offseason. They've got decisions to make. We know that the shift has definitely shifted towards Luka as far as.
But has it?
I think it has.
Okay.
I think they're going. Look, you don't pull that move off unless you're thinking long-term future. LeBron's on a 1-and-1 deal, and that's 1 year with player option. He's been doing that pretty consistency now over the last 4 years. So he's got the option. There's a lot of guys coming up in 2026. You've got really only somebody that really has the value that you could probably get a center from is maybe Reeves, but is it? Here's why. I think Reeves is really the best fit for him is there stylistically. I think he can play other places, but here's the issue. He's not going to opt into his contract because he's playing at a level that could command more money. If that's with the Lakers, they're in trouble because now they're not going to have any assets because no one's going to take LeBron. You're definitely not giving up Luka. There's really nobody else on that team that if you go up and down that really is going to be able to garner someone of significant value. Now you have some assets. There's pick swaps, but they're not significantly great because you're pretty much in the middle, if not the mid-tier to upper tier of the West. So you're not going to get great value out of your pick swaps. They're going to benefit from them most likely. So for me, Reeves is tough because you can't trade him and get value because whoever receives him has got to do it because they're going to have to pay him. And I just don't see anybody, and you help me if I'm wrong, that's willing to take a deficient guard, need to handle, and is a defensive liability.
Honestly, like Orlando can make him fit.
Okay.
Off ball.
But who are you giving up?
That's the thing, right? There's
and are you willing to pay him
what he's going to want? Probably not.
No.
That's just the thing. I mean, Orlando does come to mind. I don't think he fits Oklahoma City.
No,
necessarily.
He's not going to go to a good team,
which is the problem because he's not
going
enough
to
to be a stud on a bad team. Right? He's not a good numbers bad team sort of guy. I do think Austin Reeves is a winning player, but 95 or more % of his value comes on the offensive end. He's not a terrible defender, but like you said, it's different in the playoffs. He's an 82 game defender, not a 16 game defender. He can be a 16 game perimeter shot maker, but he's not a creator necessarily. He's a role guy, and that's fine, but you can't pay him star money. He's good at what he does. Not much more, not much less.
Because so the question then becomes, Austin, is he Kuzma?
No, he's more valuable than that.
He's more see what I'm saying?
So. Yeah.
But you see how they had to pay. They paid Kuzma.
Yeah.
Does well on a bad team, but gets to a good team where he needs to play a role. No show in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a defensive liability too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I threw him in there.
Yeah.
You know, just to kind of, I think he does offensively is better.
Brad says, is he Corey Joseph? Hey, I don't hate it.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Gary Harris. I don't know. Is he?
Yeah,
is he Jason Terry?
But see,
I'm just throwing names out there.
Jason on a
JJ
good
Barea?
team. Both of them on good teams are solid role players. But guess what? Defensively, they compete.
Well, Reese competes.
He competes, but JJ Barea actually was pretty good defensively. I mean, he defended LeBron, him and Terry in against the Miami Heat. I mean, could you see Reeves defending LeBron? No. So that's why I see
fair.
track record.
Yeah.
But I could not see Reeves, even handling or competing in that same vein with LeBron.
Cubsker says defensive liability, you say? Don't tell Billy Donovan and the Bulls. They'll trade anything for more poor defense. That's pretty funny. Dan from Canopy says, I told you LaFake was washed up. They need to cut bait with LeBron. He's not worth it. Get Luka some legit help. Number one, LeBron is still very good. 24, 8, and 8 this year.
You can get a center for him.
That's still insane.
You can get a good center for him.
But, Stricky, here's the question. The question I posed to you before the show, is LeBron in his Scottie Pippen era? Can LeBron make that transition? I think it's too late. Scottie played that role from the beginning. And 60, 70% of Scottie's value was the defense. Not saying LeBron can't do it, but you can't turn LeBron into Scottie at this point. Not just in terms of, Robin to Batman, because I agree with what you said at the start of the segment. It's trending that way for Los Angeles already. But what is the comparison for LeBron James as he ages? Does he have to look more, late career Magic Johnson in the role that he played? Is that a comparison for him? Shifting LeBron off the ball is fine. He's not a terrible defender. But again, can you trust that he will engage defensively on the possessions in the games that it matters the most? Because we can go through any NBA game, pick out possessions of wretched defensive guys not communicating, of being lazy, right? That's every NBA player. It's not just a LeBron thing.
Yeah.
But if LeBron wants to continue to burnish his legacy, it's going to be most likely as a second banana, as not a role guy, an overqualified role guy.
You talking about Savannah Bananas?
I could be.
Oh,
I could be if he wants to go full Jordan and he goes and plays for the Savannah Bananas instead of the Birmingham Barons. I'm just saying it's on the table. Kyle Perry, watch out. Here comes Bron. Bron's not beating Kyle Perry in baseball, though. Let me tell you that much. But Strick, what does this next stage of LeBron's career look like? I mean, he's 2-12 in his last 14 playoff games. That's not helping the legacy.
First round exit over the last, 4 out of 5 years?
Something like that, yeah.
It hasn't looked good. And you've had all of the pundits, and even in this game, I think it was a 6-point spread in which they
103-96, I want to say.
They thought that, the Lakers would win at least by 6. Did not happen.
Yeah, they reversed it essentially.
Yeah.
Flipped it.
Yeah. So for me, man, it's tough because I really can't envision. Because here's the risk. Here's the risk if you're another team. You don't want to defer to Clutch or LeBron. Mm-hmm. You don't want to come in and usurp chemistry. So you would never see him going to, I would never see him going to a Houston. I never see him going to a OKC. I couldn't even.
But
I think Jokic could handle him because he would know that he's him. Mm-hmm. And LeBron knows that. Mm-hmm. This is where there's a lot of deference. LeBron defers a lot. And I think he did. He did. Early on, that's where the struggles existed because he didn't defer. And there was that combination. My thing is, even in deference, with who you are, who your legacy is, and who you say you're to be, which is the greatest of all time, you don't disappear in fourth quarters. I mean, he's I think he was 2 for a 9 or 11 in the fourth quarter.
Well, the entire
and one of those was a layup in the 39 seconds left in the game. So you can't disappear like that with it on the line.
Here's this, Ricky.
Yeah.
In the 5 games of this series, just 16.9% of the Lakers' points were scored in the fourth quarter. 85 points in 5 fourth quarters. That's 17 points in the most important quarter in basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a LeBron thing. That's a team-wide thing. And shout out Opta Stats on Twitter for that. The lowest percentage of fourth quarter points by any team in any playoff series in NBA history.
With Luka and the alleged greatest of all time. I don't care. I don't care. Worst case scenario in those situations, it should be a back and forth. Even with the deficiencies that you have, it still should be a back and forth. You get it, I get it. You get it, I get it. Ooh, you got an offensive rebound. That's why you got it. Okay, I can do that because of size. But regardless, I'm Deboing you until I can't Debo you no more. And you know, I just don't know where he could go, where he can become that. He's not going to want to go to a losing team. He's going to want to have a shot. This is why I don't think he leaves the Lakers, because he's already kind of planted his roots. I don't think he leaves on his own recognizance, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Unless he goes up the road and tries to sneak up there with Golden State. But they
got to give up Jimmy. And who are you taking at this point?
But see, I like the way that they flow.
Yeah.
You see them? Because they know how to play without the size, but they also defend.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, can you trust LeBron to do it on a consistent basis? And maybe being around those guys, he might. I just don't see anywhere right now in the league that someone would give up resources. I think if you're going to try to do it, you try to get in, but the problem is he's going to have to take salary dip. But I don't foresee him doing that. But go ahead.
That, Stricky, was where I was heading next. Let's take our first break of the show. Let's pick up right there as the Timberwolves take down the Lakers in 5 games. What does the future hold for LeBron James? Is there any place in the NBA that could slot LeBron James into their ecosystem? We'll talk about that, what the money could look like, and more when we return to On the Block.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Right now, when you drive by Honda of Lincoln, you'll see more than 200 new Hondas and over 125 pre-owned vehicles. Hi, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, how does it feel to have so many vehicles in stock again for your customers?
Charlie, it feels amazing to see how excited our customers are. They love the ability to see, test drive, and take immediate delivery of the exact new Honda they're looking for.
Do you have some good offers to talk about?
We sure do, Charlie. We're offering financing as low as 0.9% APR up to 72 months, or great lease rates on every new Honda. It's the perfect time to drive away in the new Honda you've been dreaming of.
How about pre-owned, Andy?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Just about every make and model with prices starting at under $10,000.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
It pays to participate in LES Peak Rewards. You can earn a $25 gift card when you enroll your qualified smart thermostat in the program. Help curb electric demand and sign up today at les.com/peak rewards.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: patchy fog possible this morning. Otherwise, partly sunny and breezy today. With an afternoon high near 71. Tonight, a slight chance of showers. Otherwise, partly cloudy. Low near 48. And tomorrow, a chance of showers throughout the day. Otherwise, partly sunny with a high near 64. I'm meteorologist Kyle Rupp for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Lots of NBA chatter to get to here yet in hour number one before some Thirsty Thursday action and some Nebraska men's basketball chatter in hour two as well. But this Saturday, the Kentucky Derby is on. The place to watch it is at Liquid Asset Sports Bar and Grill at 27th and Jamie Lane in South Lincoln. They've got 23 beers on tap. They'll have mint juleps and high-end bourbon available to make it feel like you're right there at Churchill Downs. They'll have 30 TVs showing the Kentucky Derby, but they also show Major League Baseball, golf, NBA, NHL playoffs, all that fun stuff. And you can enjoy their delicious wings or handheld sandwiches, including the Turkey Melt, Liquid Gold Hamburger, and Bull Market Barbecue Burger. You can also come watch the Lincoln Stars tonight in action versus the Waterloo Blackhawks, USHL Western Conference Finals action. Oh, and by the way, Thirsty Thursday, 10% off all bottled wine today only. That's at Liquid Asset Sports Bar and Grill, 2755 Jamie Lane, just north of 27th and Yankee Hill. Let's bring in Jay Foreman. Jay, before we get back to the conversation Stricky and I were having, your boy, the Stifle Tower, the French Connection.
Man.
Legendary stuff last night.
You know it's bad when Shaq has to give him some props.
Right?
Reluctantly, but, man, he played phenomenal. I mean, it was a big gap in the, I guess the production. I mean, he was dominant. I mean, he won the game, and that's what you want. The playoffs, I'm sure, you need, just no different than football. You need, your secondary and third and fourth options, and he's probably a fifth option, step up and have great games, and he certainly did. So give him credit, but I think it's more of a reflection. Number one, he deserves 95% of the credit. But the 5% will ring very bright for weeks or months to come in for the Lakers organization. That not only was the coaching decision not to play Jackson Hayes, but the lack of adjustments and essentially throw your hands up and take your ball and go home. Sure, JJ Redick is, definitely, a knowledgeable coach, but I think the first time as a player, first time as a coach, obviously, showed some eyesores. But for LA, they got some serious decisions to make, and some players do too.
Stricky, what are those adjustments for the Lakers in the offseason, including, are there any on the horizon for LeBron James?
Center acquisition. And they're not going to be able to do it in the draft. I wouldn't. You're going to want somebody seasoned. If I'm them, like, even if it was a DeAndre Jordan, just even if you just want a holder, a placeholder, someone that you're not going to have to break the bank or even have to maybe go out there and find somebody that's an older. I think DeAndre's done good.
Ayton?
I think he's done great for them. Like the spot minutes that he's gotten while he's been with Denver.
Mm-hmm.
You don't trust Jackson Hayes, but if you have somebody like DeAndre Jordan, he's going to set screens. He's a lob threat, which they need. I still think DeAndre go get it. Not to the level that he did when he was putting people on posters, but I think he can go get it.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying him. I'm saying something, maybe a veteran like him. Like when they went and got old school JaVale McGee, I think one time. I think they also went and got Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
Find somebody like that who can give you enough when you need, and you can play the style that you need to play, 82 games, but when you need a guy like that, based on mismatch situations, you've got him. So that's kind of where I'm thinking.
If Luka Doncic can be traded without knowing, can LeBron James be traded?
Well, he has no trade clause. So
would he waive it? Would he want to?
I mean, that's only the eyes of the beholder. I think that's now with his son in the organization, that's a family decision.
If you're Houston, you make a run.
If you're anybody, you make a run. Here's the thing, I'm a big LeBron fan. I am. And Father Time is obviously, hasn't caught all the way up to him, but it's obviously slowly but surely catching up to him. And it rings true in a playoff series. Because you play and you recover versus like 2 times a week. You think he can get his body back. So now it's came to the point that where if you want LeBron to be dominant, they're gonna have to find a way to carry him. And carry him isn't like dragging a crappy player along. Carry him is have a true lead dog that can lead. The problem with Luka is this. You have all the potential and the talent, but you don't have that next gear mentally yet. Meaning, when I need to play D, I'm going to play D. It can't be, I'm going to back cut, get an easy layup. I look like I'm full speed, and then I'm going to act like my back is broke as I'm kind of waddling down half court. And then when I got to essentially close out, push him to the lane, ride him to the lane, whatever you want a technical, technique is for defense.
Matador.
And you let them blow by.
Yeah.
You can't.
Most blow-bys in NBA history, 9 of them in one game.
Yeah, and so and we know offensively you're quicker than that, so we know defensively you can do it. And athletic ability and natural quickness is definitely, there is separation, and that's fine. But the lack of want to is something that if I'm LeBron, it's not that I don't like Luka. I just know you right now in your career, you're not willing to go there. Because it would be a total about face for him to address the things that he needs to do so he's not a detriment. They talk about Rudy Gobert and pick and roll in the playoffs. He's diligently working at it.
Yeah.
And then what makes him a better or less to be taken off the court is when they get him the ball and he can be active. Then he became a rim runner. And, he can run for being 7'3" or 4" or whatever and block shots. Then now he's a factor. Now you're seeing the reason why they traded for him and paid him all that money.
Gobert held LeBron to 6 of 21 in the first round, Reeves to 6 of 18, Luka to 7 of 17, Rui to 6 of 16 as the primary defender.
Yeah, I mean, so he's working.
Yeah, he's working.
And it's just a year.
Yeah.
He probably felt embarrassed the way Luka got him. And so LeBron needs if I'm him, I know you love LA. You probably got legit 2 years. He could play till he's 50, but realistically, 2 years where you're a top, let's just say, argument's sake, 12 to 16 player in the league. So it's legit. You're not wasting people's time. but you're not at the point, and especially with the load that they had him playing. You got to think, remember at the beginning of the season, he was playing all them consecutive games and all that and all those minutes. That wears a guy like that out. So you need to go somewhere where you can actually be the Robin and then be Batman when they need you. And that's late in the season. You get what I'm saying? He needs to be carried, or it's kind of like LeBron if he went and hooked up when Shaq hooked up with D-Wade. Shaq was still dominant.
Yeah.
But less is more. You ain't going to get that with Luka. He already showed you that. So you can waive the no trade clause to where you can go. Could it be somewhere, like you said, Houston? Could it be going back to Cleveland or whatever it may be?
But to Strick's point, regardless, it's going to come with a pay cut. It's going to have to make it work.
Well, that too. But for LeBron, it shouldn't be about the money right now.
It shouldn't. So why let it be? I'm not saying play for free.
Well, no, Tim Duncan did it, when he needed to.
Mm-hmm.
Worked out well for him, getting that last little championship and getting some more years. It shouldn't be a priority for LeBron. I could tell you this. LA would have to present a really good game plan for me to legitimately take a pay cut there, because they have holes galore. So if I'm going to, because you don't want to be like kind of Stephon Diggs up in Buffalo, take a pay cut, then you don't bring in Amari Cooper, or you don't, what's the receiver that he wanted? DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, that's right.
Remember
Yeah.
That was the reason why he took it. So if LeBron's going to take a pay cut, then action needs to be in it. It's kind of like what we talked about with Giannis. You want Giannis to stay, but you got to show factual,
give him reasons
to. So that's where LeBron needs to do. Now, like if LeBron went to Houston, then you were going there knowing 1 year with an option or whatever, and I'm going to play for $20 million still. I don't know what he makes, but you're going to take significantly less, because you're playing second fiddle skill wise right now to somebody, and if you're equal with them, it's your job to get them there. I don't think Luka wants to get there. Luka wouldn't have played like that last night if he was trying to get there.
Yeah.
Are we sure about that? I still think Luka's still in that feeling out, trying to find his way phase. I still think he's dealing with some of the effects from the trade. I think it shocked him. He's never played with a teammate like LeBron. Jamie, don't get me wrong. Kyrie's incredible. That's a Hall of Famer, right? Luka's played with good teammates, but there's still enough of that mystique and that aura around the league that this is LeBron James. Like, Luka grew up watching this dude. Sure. I'm not going to say Luka doesn't have the dog, doesn't have the want to.
Yeah,
he's got to come into it, but he led a team to the finals.
It's not.
He's been there before and done it. Yeah, he has to get better, but he's already really good.
Oh, I'm not saying he's not good, but I'm talking about, can you get legitimately great? Does he have that want to? And there's very few people that, Strick will tell you, very few people that get that opportunity. Okay. More importantly, there's even fewer people that have the athletic ability, potential, situation, and also the ability to play with somebody to watch it. And it's not, and I'm going.
So it's tricky. Can Luka get there?
Can Luka get there?
Yeah.
As far as like
what Jay's saying. Is there a next step for Luka Doncic?
It's going to be one of two ways. Either he does raise the bar, or you're going to be consistently making excuses. And I don't like how they continuously make excuses, and that's for anybody. You know what I mean? That's for LeBron, that's for Luka, that's for AD, that's for any of these guys where they make excuses for anything that comes up short. I don't want that to happen to Luka. I hope that he sees the light and he's able to go to another level. It's tough when you see someone like Jokic dominate the way that you do, and he's just who he is, and you're international player similar to him, and you're just like, what do I need to lose weight for? I'm still killing these cats. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's talking this, talking that. But then I think it affects you in the long run for things what Jay said, that's you needing to play defense for a stretch. 6-minute stretch right now, we need lockdown because we're down 10. We need
or
stops,
up 5,
or
way.
Right? Right? When you come to that, And look, we've seen that he has the capability because they don't win against Minnesota if he didn't play D.
Absolutely.
The year that they won. If he didn't play D, he actually stepped up, played D, got deflections, did some things that helped to push them over on top of offensively. But it's going to be a self check, as Jay probably would say. What did y'all used to use that in football? Self check, heart check. What y'all? You know, you gotta look. You gotta look at yourself, and it can't be no one else. You can't look to the right or to the left. You need to actually look at yourself and say, how far do I want to go? Is getting to the conference finals or to the finals good enough, or do I want to take it to the next level?
What's going to be really interesting to monitor is in 10 years, 12 years, when Luka Doncic is at the end of his career, which way does he go? Because right now he's playing with late stage LeBron. Has Luka Doncic had that PJ Tucker type? Has Luka Doncic had that James Johnson type, the Andre Iguodala type on his teams to teach him how to age gracefully? Because LeBron at his apex was an all defense guy, right? We know he has it in him. We've seen it before. But who else did LeBron have around, right? Udonis Haslem was there, holding him accountable to a standard. It's interesting here and now. But as we talk about that next gear for Luka, if he doesn't find it soon, how much will this era, this version of LeBron play an impact on how we talk about Luka in 10 to 12 years?
Well, I think more importantly is, I mean, I guess these next 2 years are probably the most crucial years of Luka's career. You know, as far as where it, you know, do you want to be, you know, passed by in a few years, or do you want to continue to be legendary? I think that's the biggest thing that he has to decide he wants to do. And, you know, the Lakers could surround him with everybody that he needs, but then are you going to take the lead and really, you know, make it come to fruition? And there's accountability that needs to go. I mean, LeBron could have played better. You know, everybody could have played better. They could have closed out the game before, and it's a whole different conversation if they lost last night, knowing that you got your back against the wall and you got to, you know, gut one out, which then you would think, okay, this is LeBron's time. But I think
at home.
But so I think it's with Luka, you know, it's no different than when you come in as the number one pick in football or like basketball. It's not fair, but it is what it is.
It's the standard.
And
it's the minimum price
the biggest
to pay.
thing is, does he recognize it, and is he willing to actively remedy it? You're not going to be, he's never going to be LeBron and be, you know, ripped up and all that. He's never going to be Jordan and all that, you know, but he can legitimately say, I can find a way not to just give up in isolation.
Let me ask this question. Do y'all honestly believe that that at home, down 3-1, honest opinion, did you think they laid it on the line and left it all out there?
No. Okay. Not the first half. The first half looked like they was ready. They was contemplating whether they wanted to quit.
The first quarter, for sure. I mean, Minnesota had a historically poor shooting night, 7 of 47 from 3. That's a worse shooting percentage, I believe, than when the Rockets missed, 26 or 27 in a row in the playoffs against the Warriors. And the Lakers still lost. You're telling me you can't win when a team shoots 7 of 47 from 3? Right. I see where you're coming from, Stricky.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah, I think I think athletes these days, even at the professional level in any sport, quitting has become more fashionable. They know how to mask it a lot better. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's
a form of a false hustle.
Yeah, false hustle.
Yeah,
coaching is different.
Well, yeah, coaching is a lot different. You know, God forbid that you get after me a little bit, but then you know you come on the second half and you start hitting. Okay, we had it in. It's all shucks. We almost had, if we would have played like we did in the third quarter, we won. There's a lot of excuses. I wouldn't call it quitting. I just think that they weren't invested. But I think also they lost a lot of steam when J.J. Redick played the dude that ain't played in over 50 games.
Maxey. Mm-hmm.
That will take the sales out. I don't even want to say it. Strick can talk about that. I've been there in a different form. It's like you question, like, all right, our backs against the wall. We're facing embarrassment, and this dude ain't even been put on a game uniform.
And you're taking the confidence from a guy who has, high level pedigree out of Vincent, because you didn't even you brought him in there for a specific reason. You didn't use him, and I think he plays better defense than
Reeves.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Then you don't play Jackson Hayes, and you're getting murked. Yeah, I mean, he plays, but not.
He didn't play last night.
Not last night, but small minutes.
Yeah.
Even, and you're getting murked, and you still look down there and it's like,
yeah, Maxie's the one,
right? So what's going on internally? That's what we don't know, and we probably won't know. And you can tell that there was something about it, because a media individual in the press conference pretty much asked that question. And
are you going to lean on your staff to help you with substitutions? JJ,
and without saying specifically any person, he was perturbed by it and stormed out. So that tells me it struck a nerve. Sometimes if you say something to somebody and it strikes a nerve, they respond in a defensive tone or a defensive manner, or they want to square up, or whatever it is. Dang, bro. I mean, it's an honest question.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, hey, you just played the dude's the same five the game before, and then didn't work. Then your remedy is I'm not going to play any of the dudes, but I'm going to play this dude that ain't played all season.
Genius,
right?
Or not?
It's crazy.
What is cool, though, Nebraska gets a commitment from 2027 quarterback Trey Taylor, 66th national recruit, number 7 quarterback in the country. Trey will dive into that more and more here in the second hour and tomorrow. But we're going to go to break. When we get back, you Strick's in the hot seat. Shootout with Strick, $30 to Wings and Rings on the line. Call now, 402-464-5685. We'll take you on our Honda of Lincoln hotline for the Shootout with Strick to wrap up hour 1.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Make sure you tune in every Saturday from 11 to 12 for all things youth football with Tank Perry and Jim Sandman. Learn how the game of youth football has grown in and around the capital city with coaches, athletic directors, and league commissioners telling you all about it. It's all things youth football with Tank Perry and Jim Sandman every Saturday from 11 to noon right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more. Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats. Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
At Allo, we go beyond internet, bringing you faster speeds backed by an all-fiber network. We go beyond TV and phone service, delivering reliable, crystal clear connections. We go beyond customer service with local teammates and no robots for a hassle-free experience. We go beyond value, offering transparent prices with no contracts, hidden fees, or data caps. We even go beyond our office doors by working, hiring, volunteering, and living in the communities we serve. Go beyond fiber. Sign up today at allofiber.com.
Cinco de Mayo is May 5th, but the party starts early this year at Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina with their street festival on Saturday, May 3rd. Come down to 8th and Q starting at 1 p.m. on May 3rd and see llamas from Sweet and Sassy's Llama Farm until 4 p.m. and enjoy face painting and balloon animals with Miss Shades at 2 p.m. DJ Wyatt will entertain from 6 to 10:30 p.m. There will be drinks, food, and giveaways, and best of all, no cover charge. It's the early Cinco de Mayo Street Festival with Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, Saturday, May 3rd, beginning at 1 p.m. at 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
Support Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach on Give to Lincoln Day. Your gift will be received by a portion of Lincoln Community Foundation's matching fund. Homelessness is a complex problem facing our community. By working together, we can find solutions. Your donation for Give to Lincoln Day moves us closer to ensuring that everyone in Lincoln has a safe place to sleep at night. Because of your generosity, hope lives here. Give anytime through May 29th at givetolincoln.com.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play.
Need a caller, 402-464-5685. It's our Honda of Lincoln hotline. Take on E-Strick. Don't forget, today Jay Foreman is your lifeline for one question. Be loud, be clear, be direct with it. Jay put the finishing touches on a 5-0 victory yesterday, I believe it was, over Wendell. But if you want to see if you can take down Strick, call now, 402-464-5685. Fellas, some resolution from some John Halliburton versus Giannis Antetokounmpo action. Pacers said that Mr. Halliburton will not be allowed or will voluntarily not come to Pacers games, home or road, for the foreseeable future.
Whoa.
That's the next year.
Yeah. Whoa.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, no, that is something.
Not even up in the box?
That's wild. Yeah, that's wild. And so I think this could have went one of two ways. One, it's either Halliburton hearing the information and humbly taking it and taking the accountability for his pops and standing behind the team, or there was some conversations between upper management that came down and
forced the issue.
Yeah. It happened one of two ways, but I can't say for sure how that would go down. But look, the Pacers have a history of so they don't want that smoke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't want nothing associated with it. Don't be addressing, don't be coming. They don't want to add that, to the legacy of their, they've been a long-standing, pretty upstanding program. Company.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You don't want that smoke either, but you're taking it here, Stricky, for the Shootout with Strick. Bubba, what's up?
How much are you guys?
We are doing well. We're doing good. Hold on the line. We'll get Stricky his 4 questions, then we'll get to you. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay, Stricky, your round of the Shootout starts here in 3, 2, and 1. Where did guard Ian Jackson transfer to, St. John's or Georgetown?
Georgetown.
St. John's. Dang! Where did center Henri Visar transfer to, North Carolina or North Carolina State?
State.
North Carolina. Where did forward Malik Renew transfer to, Florida or Miami?
Miami.
Yep. And where did guard AJ Storr transfer to?
Jay.
Man.
AJ Store. From Wisconsin to Kansas to
Two. Arizona.
No, Miami.
It was him.
Ole Miss. Ole Miss. You go play
like we supposed
for
to know
Chris
that.
Beard. He was a big name. That boy's on point. He's a big name. That's a 1-point round. That's a 1-point round. Is Nick talking smack over?
Wait! You're supposed to get in here, Nick.
All right, Bubba.
Nick didn't know the
Bubba,
answer
1
either.
to tie, 2 or more to win. You ready?
Like he can go. Like he can make a layup.
Bubba, you with us?
Bubba's he canceled. He
All right.
canceled.
No, he's here stricken. Bubba, your round starts here in 3, 2, and 1. Where did guard Rob Wright transfer to? BYU or Villanova?
Villanova.
It was BYU.
Ooh.
Where did center Jaden Quaintance transfer to? Tennessee or Kentucky?
Tennessee.
It's Kentucky.
Ooh.
Where did forward Andrei Stojakovic transfer to? Illinois or Stanford?
Illinois.
It was Illinois. And where did center Oscar Clough transfer to? Jay's your lifeline if you need it.
Jay, lifeline.
Oscar Clough. South Dakota State to
Purdue.
You know what?
Boom shakalaka.
You know what?
Give me a hell.
You know what? You see? No.
Give me a hell.
No.
Bubba passes it off at the buzzer. Jay Foreman from long range knocks it down. Bubba, there's your $30 to Wings and Rings, courtesy of Jay Foreman. Congrats on the win. Yeah, hold on the line, Bubba. We'll get your information here. Strick, you see how we did you? At the buzzer.
That was your boy over there.
Exactly. I see how it is. No, don't answer the phone. Get off the phone, Nick. Garbage. Man, that's some bull junk, man. You always cheat, Strick, man.
Stricky, deep breaths. Thirsty Thursday comes your way. Take a sip. We'll be good.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Now's the time to schedule your air conditioner service check with Bryant. Make sure it's ready to keep you cool and comfortable when you really need it. Call Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating, 467-1111.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Support Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach on Give to Lincoln Day. Your gift will be received by a portion of Lincoln Community Foundation's matching fund. Homelessness is a complex problem facing our community. By working together, we can find solutions. Your donation for Give to Lincoln Day moves us closer to ensuring that everyone in Lincoln has a safe place to sleep at night. Because of your generosity, hope lives here. Give anytime through May 29th at givetolincoln.com.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
This is it, Husker fans, your final chance to see Nebraska baseball at home this season. It starts Tuesday, May 6th with a huge rivalry matchup against Creighton. Then it's a Big Ten showdown as the Huskers host Michigan May 9th through 11th. Every game matters and your support can make the difference. Great seats are still available, but they're going fast. Get your tickets today at huskers.com/tickets or by calling 1-800-8-BIG-RED. Are you a fan of local wine, craft beer, cider, or spirits? Don't miss SIP Nebraska's 12th anniversary celebration May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park and join others who share your passion for great drinks. Enjoy unlimited tastings, live music, delicious food, artisans, and lawn games as you celebrate Nebraska's vibrant beverage industry. And when you find one you love, you can buy a bottle to take home. Choose your ticket package at sipnebraska.com. The SIP Nebraska Spring Festival, a Blur event, May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park in Ashland.
It's never too late to start protecting your company's data from cyber attacks. Your customers put their trust in you to keep their information safe from online threats. Don't let them down. Partner with Hamilton Business Technologies to get real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and experts who monitor it all for you. We care about the success of your business and the communities you serve. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best they can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. Tailored Landscapes is on the brink of spring cleanups for all their existing customers, and they have limited spots available. They trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give Tailored Landscapes a call at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of their designers and stop by the Tailored Life store in Bennett.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins'. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Why wait until Friday to start your weekend?
Go ahead, start right now.
You're thirsty now, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to help you stock up.
Just in time for the weekend when I like to hit the clubs.
Time to broaden your horizons and try some new wine and beer. It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
Oh,
there it is.
That's the one we've been waiting for.
That is. I'd give that a 9.
Yeah.
Solid 9.
Yeah, hard 9. Pause.
Stricky's muted after that one.
No, I'm just...
Bruh.
Bruh.
That's what I got to say. Kevin Meyer. Myers Cork and Bottle, how are you? Happy Thursday.
Gentlemen, happy Thirsty Thursday to you as well.
Is something over there looking very lemony?
Yeah. I think, though, we should do the wine first.
Okay, you're the smart one.
Well, because the lemony drink that we're going to try is also probably going to be a little bit sweet, and you're going to get a little bit of that lemon, and that is not a great sort of lead up to a dry red wine. So.
Well, the good thing about it is the second one is definitely a clicky for streaky. Yes, I heard that clicky for streaky.
There you go.
How's spring wine sale going?
Spring wine sale is going great. It actually ends Sunday. So
hurry, people.
Get out.
Mix and match any 3 wines, save 10%, any 6, save 15%, or any dozen, save 20%.
Just in time for Mother's Day.
Just in time for Mother's Day. There you go. I like the way you're thinking.
I have to think about these things now.
Well, yeah, that's right. You do. You definitely got to make sure and take care of your wife for Mother's Day, especially when your children are too small.
Yes.
But even so, even when they're plenty old enough, they're not going to do Mother's Day like they're supposed to. So you got to be there to make sure that she doesn't hate her own children. That's just the way it goes.
Good to know. This
Or
wine
get her
is
heart
called.
broken. She would never hate him. Sorry.
Yeah, well, there's that. Trig Point. We don't have to do actual math for this, do we?
We
right?
do
You're not
not.
going to make us thank you.
However,
Please.
this is it's a wine called Trig Point. It's a Zinfandel, and the reason that I chose it, we don't do a lot of Zin.
We do not.
And a lot of times
I like Zen.
Yeah, me too. And it's
No,
kind of
Z-E-N.
you like
Zen.
Does it put me in a Zen state?
Right. Or are you talking about the Zins, like the tobacco pouches or whatever they are?
Oh, no.
Could not be me.
Yeah, no, it's not my brand.
I like Zen Yin Yang. Is this a Zen
This
Yin
is
Yang?
a red Zinfandel. The funny thing about Zen, when people think Zinfandel, they automatically think white Zinfandel, the pink sweet stuff.
Yeah.
It's actually a red wine grape. And when they make white Zinfandel, they take sort of the younger vines that they're not really doing much with. They press the juice out. They don't allow the skin contact after the crush, which is called what, Austin Orman?
Oh, is that maceration?
That is maceration. Ding, ding, ding.
Yes.
And so the wine is then fermentation is stopped early, so it's high in sugar, low in alcohol, and comes out pink. But the good Zin grapes they make red from, and this is a kind of an interesting story. It's a guy by the name of Nick Goldschmidt, and there's 6 Goldschmidt kids.
Nick Sainert Smith?
Yes, something like that. I don't know if they're related or not, but it's tricky. You're always throwing me off, man. I have this great train of thought. This tricky just comes in.
I'm sorry.
So Nick Goldschmidt's one of 5 or 6 kids from the Goldschmidt family, and each one has a different wine named after them from the family vineyards, and each one is a specific vineyard wine. Well, he is doing this project on his own called Trig Point because when he was a kid, he was helping his father map out the vineyards, and they're doing all this stuff like measuring slope and angle of incidence to the sun and soil compositions and all this stuff. And to him, it was all, trigonometry or calculus. And so his job was to move the Trig Point, which is the surveyor's tool. And so he made this wine called Trig Point in homage to his father because his father has since passed away. And it's also barbecue season. So Zinfandel to me is the preeminent pairing for slow smoked meats. You do a brisket, you do ribs, I've even smoked a chuck roast. Woo. And it's like doing a brisket, but it's easier.
Well, pause. What's a chuck roast?
Well, you've had your mom make pot roast, right?
Okay.
In crock pot. That's a chuck roast.
Oh, okay.
And so instead of slow cooking it in a cooker, you smoke it.
Okay.
And so it's kind of like an easier way to make brisket because you get a lot of the same flavor, but the meat is actually a little bit softer and doesn't take as long. And so, but there's something about, the rub that goes on a smoked meat and then the sauce that you put on it, it has that sort of a sweet and spicy kick, right? So Zinfandel has kind of a sweet and spicy kick as well. You get the upfront fruit, but then you get this spicy backbone that just pairs perfectly with barbecue.
Stricky, talk to me. What are you thinking?
It doesn't have a hard bite, but it's it's solid. It's a solid wine. I've rarely had a Zinfandel in the red, but it's a pretty solid wine. And I actually like Trig Point. I like, when you brought another one in there, the cab was very good.
Yeah.
So I actually like it. They do a good job.
Same winemaker. This is all Alexander Valley fruit. This one comes from a single vineyard, which is called the Rail Yard Vineyard. And normally wines that have that pedigree are going to be north of about 50 or 60 bucks. These are on the shelf every day for about 30. So it's certainly not a cheap wine, but I think a really high level Zinfandel. And this one, especially the older vine Zinfandels, are going to come in at a higher ABV because what they do is as the grape vines age, and some of the Zinfandel vines can produce great wine even after they're 100 years old. And the berries that grow on the vines are smaller and they develop fewer and fewer clusters, but the skin of the grape gets thicker and thicker the older the vine gets. And so it's almost like leather. So they can leave them on there for a really extended period of time. And so they're harvested at what's known as a higher brix, which is essentially a sugar content, acid level, things like that. And typically wines are fermented to about half the percentage of what they started at in bricks. So say as an example, a grape was harvested at 28 bricks. It's usually going to ferment out to be about 14%. So it's not uncommon for these Zinfandels to be 15, 15.5, 15.8. And naturally it can no longer ferment once it gets above 16 because the alcohol kills off the yeast naturally. So that's about the tipping point for a good Zinfandel. So a wine like this also needs a little breathe time. Of course, we like to pop the cork on the air just for the sound effect, but it will continue to mellow out and grow on you very, very nicely.
I did not give mine breathe time. That was really good. It complex too, right? Because the first is, like you said, the fruit. More fruit forward, a little more grape too. You get that fruit up front. I was not expecting that spice on the back. Once you get that first hit of fruit, like, okay, it's wine. It's good.
Jammy. Yeah.
It's jammy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then getting that
It's like
spice
a
on the
peppery.
back.
Yeah. I can see what you're saying.
This is one of the more, I think, complex, like involved reds. I think you've brought in a few.
Well, and I think what's even more fun is that I could pour you a little bit more and it would continue to be evolved. So let's do that.
Let's just try it. Let's
just
see.
for fun.
Thank you. It's such a deep red too.
So yeah, these come in at 15.2.
Ooh.
And you can't even tell.
You can't. So that's that slow creep up on you, you know.
Yeah.
Run up on you. You know what I mean? Little uppercut. Oh, you all of a sudden look up and you on your back. You like, what happened?
Yeah, where'd that come from?
Are you getting plum or black cherry, or plum and black cherry?
I would say probably both.
Okay.
Just, basic, like dark fruit.
Mm-hmm.
So plum, maybe some fig, maybe some black cherry, but that sort of darker stone fruit type of thing. And definitely then that spicy kick on the back end.
Yeah.
Which, again, like I said, makes it pair really, really nicely with barbecue.
Jason on our text line goes to the meat aspect of this conversation. Says, chuck roast smoked, you can cube and wrap in foil for the last hour and a half and have burnt ends.
Yes.
Big burnt ends guy here, Uncle Kev.
Yeah,
Love me
too.
some burnt ends.
Love me some burnt ends too. And that's the great thing about the chuck roast too, is that if you like your
Chucky,
well, exactly.
Bird.
Yeah, if you like your barbecue more shreddy, you can cook it a little longer and it just sort of falls apart. If you like it a little more firm, you can pull it a little sooner. And so it's pretty easy to target exactly the way you want it. Whereas brisket takes a good brisket, it's going to take you 10 hours.
Yeah, I hate it when it's hard though. The brisket's tough.
Well, and see, that's why a lot of people are switching to doing the chuck roast instead of the brisket, because it's less stringy, it's more tender, it's not so dry at the end of it. But barbecue is just, it's good all the way around. Even when it's bad, it's good. It's like pizza.
Especially when you're a big grill guy.
And one other thing, we'll leave it at that.
The best burnt ends I ever had probably weren't the best burnt ends in history, but I learned last year that who was? I forget the restaurants. It's escaping.
Pat Jack's?
No, down in Kansas City. They were selling them. It might have been Joe's was selling their burnt ends at the K. So I got burnt ends that's sitting right above the Royals bullpen in right field. Just the way life
that's
was
a
meant
day
to
right
be.
there.
The way life was meant to be lived. Let me tell you.
The last time I was at Kaufman, we got seats in the left field stands, right behind Alex Gordon.
Woo.
And I'd never watched a game from the outfield before.
It's different.
And
Way
I loved
different.
it. I actually liked that viewpoint better than I did sitting along either of the baselines or even behind home plate. So watching it from the outside in, it was cool. And then, of course, then you can really see those fly balls.
Did it give you the feeling of like, so real quick, I'm gonna take you through a quick, lay of the land.
Yes.
As far as gaming. I played when I had Atari, the Pong, all those Atari games, Frogger.
Yeah.
What's the one where the guy used to go something Pitfall?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. We're
then you go to ColecoVision and Univision, and now you have games on the PlayStation or the Xbox or whatever, where they're like these third person, like you could do a SWAT mission as if you look like you're in the room.
Right.
So I'm saying this to say, do you look at it from a standpoint when you're out there? Did you feel like you were in that kind of mode?
It definitely makes
you got
you
that
feel,
point of view, like you're actually in the game.
It feels like you're much more part of it. Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Because you can see the pitch leaving the pitcher's hand.
Yeah.
You can see the trajectory of the ball off the bat.
Yeah.
You can judge the distance from that angle. A lot of times, when you're sitting like either on the first baseline or the third baseline, and that ball's coming in, you can't pick it up once it gets, about 10 feet from the batter, and then it's just kind of just everything happens. But from that vantage point, you can actually see everything, and it makes you feel like you're part of the game. Maybe you're just playing a little extra deep left field behind the real left field.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah, no, but have you seen like some of these games? Like,
I've
think
seen
about the VR boxing games. Like and then when I be laughing, Uncle Kevin, I know I'm not getting off point, but I am a little bit. But how they're wearing those VR things and they like jumping in the living room and they're they're landing on
through a glass coffee table.
Right?
Like
It's wild.
Yeah, I'm a little old for that now. I don't really play.
I haven't done it
video
either.
games.
I haven't.
I was into it when I wore a younger man's apron.
Would you be into it after some vodka and lemonade?
Yes, vodka lemonade. So brand new. Are you guys Barstool sports guys?
I know of them.
Yeah. So I'm kind of, again, peripheral, but I'm familiar and kind of like what they do. Well, Dave Portnoy, who owns Barstool, adopted this dog, Miss Peaches, and she's just this really sweet pit bull mix dog, and so they decided to do a vodka lemonade that benefits animal rescue. And it's called Lucky One, and it's done in conjunction with High Noon. And when I play golf, I'm a big vodka lemonade guy. That's my swing juice.
Okay.
And so I thought, hey, what the heck? Let's bring it in, because I'm not a huge Barstool guy, but I am a huge dog guy. I've had several. Boxers are kind of my breed. Lost my good boy Beanie about a year and a half ago, but we still got Jimmy in the house. So anyway.
So what happens then if someone comes in the Myers Cork and bottle and buys one of those? What happens? So we aren't responsible for the donation to the animal rescue. It comes from Portnoy. So they come in these mixed 8-packs, and there's multiple flavors. I'm just bringing the original. But for, they do sell through reports and all this stuff. And so I'm sure a couple of bucks from each thing gets donated to whatever their charity is. That's sweet. Is that a worse sneak up than the Trig Point? Because that's that tastes like lemonade. It don't taste like there's nothing in there. Talk to me.
So I would say, I think the wine's a little bigger sneak up, just because I expected it to have a little bit more of that bite to it, that dryness to it. This I didn't expect to feel it at all, and I don't. This is so smooth.
So smooth.
It's uncarbonated, so that even makes it more dangerous, I think.
Okay, yes, that's what it was.
You
I was
expect it
waiting
to be
for the
carbonated.
Sunny D 2.0.
Yeah.
That's what I was expecting.
It tastes like good lemonade water, like the kind that back in the old school days. Austin, you wouldn't know about this, but
when you had the powder, the Minute Maid powder.
But I'm talking about when the kids used to sit out, outside, and you would drive by, and they would have
a
the
lemonade stand,
right?
Yeah,
it tastes like that.
I did that once.
I have something kind of funny about.
Austin, there's no way you sat outside.
Yeah, for half an hour. I wasn't been patient.
Okay, there we go. I knew it was something to it.
That reminds me of my daughter. She was probably like 5 or 6, and she decided she wanted to do a lemonade stand. And so she, set up shop. And of course, there's no advertising. People don't know you're there. They eventually got to, just figure it out. And so she was really disheartened. And so suddenly she became like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. And so she was just sitting there, just no one's coming up. And she's like, lemonade. 25 cents. And so anyway, my wife and I still to this day, anytime it's like someone's kind of down on themselves or, kind of having a pity party, we just go lemonade, 25 cents. But eventually the neighbor kids showed up, and it was a pretty exciting lemonade party for my 6-year-old daughter at the time, who's now 29, by the way.
Made her money back and then some?
And then some, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Made your money back and then some?
Right, precisely. Yeah, that's probably definitely more accurate.
All right, these are fantastic. I think you went 2 for 2 again today. Remind people what it was we've been sipping on for
So
us.
we did Trig Point, Diamond Dust Vineyard, Rail Yard Vineyard, Zinfandel from Alexander Valley, which is on the Sonoma side in California, and then Lucky One Original.
Oh, that's good.
Vodka lemonade, which benefits animal rescues.
And that's a patio super pounder.
Yeah, from the Barstool Sports guys.
Super
There you
pounder.
go.
Yeah.
From Kevin
I
Myers,
would
Cork
advise
and
that.
Bottle.
Yeah.
Spring wine sale through Sunday.
Correct.
Get there. 13th and 7th. Uncle Kev, always great to see you. Thanks for bringing
Appreciate
it
you,
in.
fellas. Thank you.
Yeah, Uncle Kev.
We'll go to break. When we get back, Robin Wash at Husker Online talking some Husker hoops.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Buckle up and hang on. This is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes.
Crash together. So close.
And family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We got feuding.
And tailgating tradition. Burnouts. Beer. And barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time. And you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Support Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach on Give to Lincoln Day. Your gift will be received by a portion of Lincoln Community Foundation's matching fund. Homelessness is a complex problem facing our community. By working together, we can find solutions. Your donation for Give to Lincoln Day moves us closer to ensuring that everyone in Lincoln has a safe place to sleep at night. Because of your generosity, hope lives here. Give anytime through May 29th at givetolincoln.com.
It's never too late to start protecting your company's data from cyber attacks. Your customers put their trust in you to keep their information safe from online threats. Don't let them down. Partner with Hamilton Business Technologies to get real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and experts who monitor it all for you. We care about the success of your business and the communities you serve. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Spring has arrived, the temperatures are rising, and it's time to get your equipment ready for the season. Landmark Implement has high-quality used John Deere planters, sprayers, and tractors, priced to move and ready to work for you. Take advantage of unbeatable deals and flexible financing to upgrade your operation without stretching your budget. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or browse our full inventory online at landmarkimp.com. Before these deals are done, experience the Landmark difference.
Yeah, boy! You're getting hungry. Very, very hungry. Now look into my clock. And when your boy Flavor Flav counts from 3, you're going to go to Cane's and you're going to order hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, and secret Cane's sauce. 3, 2, 1.
Order for Flavor Flav.
I guess it worked. Raising Cane's. One love.
Are you a fan of local wine, craft beer, cider, or spirits? Don't miss SIP Nebraska's 12th anniversary celebration May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park and join others who share your passion for great drinks. Enjoy unlimited tastings, live music, delicious food, artisans, and lawn games as you celebrate Nebraska's vibrant beverage industry. And when you find one you love, you can buy a bottle to take home. Choose your ticket package at sipnebraska.com. The SIP Nebraska Spring Festival, a Blur event, May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park in Ashland.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: patchy fog possible this morning. Otherwise, partly sunny and breezy today with an afternoon high near 71. Tonight, a slight chance of showers. Otherwise, partly cloudy. A low near 48. And tomorrow, a chance of showers throughout the day. Otherwise, partly sunny with a high near 64. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flynn from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Kentucky Derby is this Saturday, and the best place to watch it in Lincoln is at Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill at 27th and Jamie Lane. Watch the race on any of their 30 TVs while enjoying a mint julep or one of their high-end bourbons. Try their delicious wings or handheld sandwiches like the Turkey Melt, Liquid Gold hamburger, or the brand new chocolate chip cookie skillet for dessert. There's one place to watch the Kentucky Derby in Lincoln. That's Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill at 2755 Jamie Lane.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Rolling right along here during On the Block. Austin Norman, Jay Foreman, Eric Strickland with you. We are headed to our VIP line brought to you by Outlet Fiber. That's where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. Lots to get to in Nebraska basketball. Been a busy off season for the Huskers. Wrapped up their season just under a month ago now. Let's bring in Robin Washed of Husker Online. Robin, just about a month ago, we had just entered the time warp that is Las Vegas. Have you recovered from that?
I don't know. I don't know if you ever recover from a week in Vegas, but I've started to transition back to reality slowly but surely every day, and we're gradually getting back to normal life.
It helps that the college basketball news cycle is always spinning. The news just keeps coming, and there are some of that news today. You were the first on the Luca Virgilio news. He gets promoted, a role change to general manager. What went into that decision? What makes Luca a good fit for that role for Nebraska?
Well, it's kind of a no-brainer when you think about it. Like, he's been in the program since Fred's arrival. He was one of the first hires, kind of with a package deal with Matt Abdelmassi, and they were the kind of the first parts of Fred's initial staff here. And so he's been around. He understands the program, understands what Fred wants, kind of the direction that they're trying to do things. And really, he's kind of already done a lot of the GM duties already, like outside of like handling a full-blown salary cap. But like in terms of handling the money part of it and getting all the logistics figured out with roster management and all that sort of stuff, like that's kind of already what he was doing. Now you're just piling on a lot more work, so to speak, with just kind of having to adapt and stay kind of at the forefront of a rapidly daily changing landscape of college athletics. So I think that he was a guy that like just made a lot of sense. There's a trust, there's just a familiarity there within the program, and again, he's basically taking on a lot of what he was already doing to begin with. Now he's just making a little bit more coin as a result of it.
Hey, Robin, this is Strick. Listen, this is how you doing, my friend? The thing about it, man, is when we look at the landscape changes now, we haven't gotten word yet on the legislation situation. We're still waiting on that. But there is an understanding that monetarily there's going to be an effect and a hit on a lot of programs. So there's going to be a lot of decisions that have to be made. You look at your top tier programs like your Kentuckys and BYU's now, who's starting to step into the lane because they've got big money to spend. There's teams out there like that on the basketball side of things. But then there's other teams that maybe football is the focus, and they're going to have to tighten up a little bit. Hence, this is what you were just talking about, how programs are having to tighten up, maybe not able to add staff to fill some of the issues in the changing of the landscape. But here's the issue. Here's the question. With Nebraska now pretty much not really in the area of spending the big money, how do you view what they've done thus far compared to what other programs are doing around the country? You know, are you feel that they're just being frugal, or you feel that they're just working with what they got, or you feel that they're trying to roster construct just based on, handling it in the way that they should? I'm just trying to understand what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, and I think it's all of the above, to where, they are being frugal in a sense because they just can't compete with some of the bidding wars that are going on right now. And it gets into a discussion where a player is asking for over $2 million. Like, Nebraska just can't play that game. They don't have the money, where teams within their own conference do. And so, that's kind of I could talk about navigating the landscape. That's what Luka and Fred and everybody on that staff is by the day trying to figure out how they're going to do it. Because when it comes to straight up bidding wars, they're not going to win a lot of these battles, especially when the haves in the NIL rev share world start to get involved. And so for Nebraska, their MO, I mean, they're going to have they're not totally broke. I don't want to paint that picture, but they're still going to be, probably bottom third when it comes to just money resources within the Big Ten. And, nationally it's still pretty good, but within the conference, and then not even to say with what's going on in the Big East and the non-football schools, they're just not going to be able to play the same recruiting portal game that other schools are. And so their path has to be continuing to do what they've been doing. And that's finding the diamonds in the rough and turning them into elite players, going and getting the sixth man from Charlotte and turning him into a first team all Big Ten player, going and getting a, good Missouri Valley center from Bradley and turning him into an all-conference player in the Big Ten. That's got to be the method, to where, you have the ability to spend some money, but you better be right. You got to identify that player and make sure that he is 100% worth the money. And that's kind of the MO that this class really represents, where it's not the flashiest high-profile guys, but every player that they brought in has a kind of key component that they're going to fill. There's an identity with how they built this roster. It starts with building around Rink Mass and kind of supplementing everything that he can do. But you're not going to go just get all the best players. Some schools like USC and, Indiana, they're playing that game. They're going to go and just get the highest cost, highest profile player. Well, Nebraska, they're going to have to go a different route. They're going to have to find the Bryce Williams and the Greg Mass and the Juwan Garys and guys that, might not come with the same portal acclaim, but that they can see kind of long-term how they can develop them and how they're going to fit with what they already have on the roster. So it's just a different game that Nebraska is going to have to play.
No doubt.
Robin, I'm glad you went there, because as I squint and look at this 25-26 Nebraska roster, I start to see the outlines of what there was in 23-24. Jamarcus Lawrence as himself, Rink Mast as himself, Kendall Blue in the Bryce Williams role, Price Sanford, replacing CJ Wilcher, Jared Garcia as either Josiah Alec or Juwan Gary potentially. What are some of the traits and key aspects of that 23-24 team that this staff targeted for the 25-26 roster?
Shooting, first and foremost. That's answer 1, 2, 3 right there. They last year, not having Casey and Rink and CJ and Jamarcus and all those guys that made them a pretty good 3-point shooting team. I mean, the offense was a shell of itself. last year. And if Bryce wasn't doing everything and Juwan wasn't, hitting 3 threes, they really had a hard time scoring. And so that was a clear priority with what and the types of players that they wanted to get. Obviously they wanted to go get good players, but they had to be shooters. Every player that they brought in is a 30% 3-point shooter career or better. And so a lot of those guys are closer to 40%. And so it all starts with Rink Mass being kind of that big domino where like he is the guy, the centerpiece of everything they added to this roster. And when you surround Rink with 4 shooters on the floor at all times, suddenly you got something to work with there, especially if those shooters can also drive and get to the hole like a Kendall Blue. So like that's, I think, kind of what they wanted to get back to. Like winning with grit and defense and all that stuff is great, but the name of the game is you got to score. And Nebraska struggled far too often putting the ball through the basket. And so they went out and got a bunch of shooters while also continuing to follow their formula of getting high character guys that you don't have to worry about and babysit, that aren't going to break your bank, on the portal recruiting front, and then also kind of bring a little bit of something different, each and every one of them, to the table while all checking the box of consistent 3-point shooting.
So, Robin, one of the things that they've learned since Derek Walker left, they've upgraded. I think there was an unexpected growth that they were able to get. So we know that training players is an important thing, getting the most out of the big bang for the buck. We know that there's a style that set them apart from other Big Ten teams, which was a winning recipe with Rink being point forward type, pretty much Jokic-ish. Not Jokic, but Jokic-ish, by the way that the things ran through him a lot of the time and he orchestrated a lot of the play. But here's the thing. Who in this they learned a lot from last year because without him, they saw the importance of him and still trying to play the similar style that they played with him, but wasn't effective. Now you get him back. You've added the pieces. Who are you looking at next year that needs to go to the next level? And did any of those that went into the transfer portal, is it going to be a hurt to them, a hindrance to them, or you think hopefully they were able to make that up with what they pulled out of the transfer portal?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not overly concerned about the guys they lost. I mean, the bigger blow would have been Nick Janowski just because he had a decently high ceiling, and they liked him, and he's a great kid, fit everything that they wanted, but I think he just was an instance where he wanted to play extensive minutes, and the reality was that might not have been in the cards for him next year. And so after sitting out all last season, like the idea of playing spot minutes off the bench again this year, just, I think he wanted to go somewhere where he could actually get on the floor. So it's unfortunate, but that's just kind of the reality of basketball these days. So really the losses, they don't really, it's probably as insignificant relative to previous years as we've seen in some time. And then you pair the additions, those are the portal losses. The big ones were Phil and Bryce, Juwan, Morgan, and those types of guys. I don't know if you have a Bryce Williams, so to speak, on the roster. Bryce was one of the greatest scorers in program history. I don't know if that guy is there, but collectively, I don't think they need a player like that. Obviously, you'd love to have a first-team All-Big Ten guy, but they have 4, 5, 6, 7 guys that can all go off on a given night, to where it's not just entirely reliant on 2 or 3 players. And if those 2 or 3 guys have a bad night, you lose. I think that's kind of what they really wanted to address with the additions, to where they have options now. They have depth, to where even if Rink's having a bad game, you've got a list of other guys that have all proven capable to, be able to pick up the slack and take a game over. And so the guys who I look to, Kendall Blue, I think that he's really intriguing to me. They recruited him to be kind of in that Bryce Williams mold just because they're similar frames. He's a lefty, but he can finish with both hands. He's kind of just one of those crafty scorers that can give them some of what they lost with Bryce. But, they went out and got Price Stanford for a reason. He was number 1 on their board in 2023 coming out of high school. He was number 1 on their board this time around in the portal. And so Fred Hoiberg is extremely high on Price Stanford. I think that they view him as much more than just a spot-up 3-point shooter. That's kind of all he was at Iowa, just because of the system that they ran, where maybe outside of one player, nobody even stepped foot inside the 3-point line. So like this is going to be different for him, to where he's taking on a different role. And I think Nebraska thinks that he can do more, and I think he believes he can do more. So I'll put Kendall Blue and Price Stanford as 1A, 1B, however you want to look at it, as far as players that, just as far as taking that next step. If those guys do that and Rink Mast gets back to his all Big Ten form, Nebraska's going to have something to work with.
Robin, Nebraska also went after quite a bit of front court depth, right? Stanford is that wing, but then you go with Garcia, Bo Euctengel still on the roster, Mast return. And the guy that I'm curious to get your thoughts on is Ugnias Jerusha-Vicious, right? I can kind of see the outline for what they're going for. Is he the heir apparent to Rink Mast? What's the draw for him? What should Husker fans expect to see from him in his first year in Lincoln?
Yeah, he's similar to Rink. I don't think he's a shooter, Rink is, but as far as like a post scorer, like he's got skills. Like he's an offensive minded big. The question with a guy like that is just how physically he's going to handle Big Ten front courts, and the kind of rough and tumble style of play that comes with playing in the league. I talked to him shortly after he committed, and I asked him, like, "Are you ready for Big Ten?" He's like, "Well, we'll see. I got a few months here to get my body right." So I think he understands that it's going to be an adjustment. But as far as a depth piece, as your backup five, I think that's they like a lot of what he brings to the table, especially offensively. I don't think that's going to be a problem for him. What I would, I guess, worry about or question with him just immediately is how he's going to adapt to the physicality of the Big Ten, just the way that Big Ten basketball is officiated compared to his international experience, and even at the mid-major level.
Robin, you also posted something last week that I thought was fascinating. I saw you going back and forth with the fans on Twitter a little bit. The Bart Torvik kind of preseason rankings after the majority of the portal work was done. Bart Torvik had Nebraska at 12th in the Big Ten, which on the one hand qualifies them for the Big Ten tournament, but isn't in the top half. But then 38th nationally. When you look at 12th in the Big Ten versus 38th nationally, which of those numbers should carry more weight for Nebraska?
38th nationally. Like, what you do in your conference doesn't matter. Like, who cares? You got to get to the tournament. Like, that's all that matters. And so if you're being viewed as a team in that tier already going into the beginning stages of the offseason, that's a pretty darn good spot, because a lot of times when it comes to national discussion and preseason bubble watch and all that stuff, the narrative is set so early so that if you get that much of a head start and are viewed to be that caliber of a team, and you have some success in non-conference play, suddenly you got a lot of equity to work with going into Big Ten play, where basically you need to just hold serve. And if you just keep your head above water in league play, the odds are you're going to find yourself in a very nice spot come bubble conversation time. So I put far more stock in the national projections, and really, like, what it shows you is just how good the Big Ten is perceived to be. And, the Big Ten's always good, but the fact that Nebraska can be the 38th best team projected in an analytics ranking while also being only 12th in its own conference, I don't know if I've seen that before, and it speaks to just the top to bottom depth of the Big Ten. You talk about the money part of it, like, the Minnesota was dead last in NIL budget last year. Like, they were barely working with $1 million, and almost all of that went to Dawson Garcia. So, like, now when they got Nico Medved, like, they're probably in the same ballpark as Nebraska is right now, because they've made a massive investment in their basketball, financial budget. Iowa's the same way with McCollum taking over. Like, they've invested a lot more money into basketball, where before they were probably fourth on the totem pole within their own university. So, that's the Big Ten is a beast, but then when you factor in just the level of investment happening from 1 through 18, that says a lot about what Nebraska's up against. So having that preseason national kind of starting point, I think is going to be invaluable, and it puts so much pressure on them to take care of business in the non-con. Because if they do, they're going to set themselves up very well come the start of week play.
Last thing for you then, Robin, as we approach the summer months, what's on the schedule for Nebraska? What are you monitoring in terms of recruiting, development, off-season stuff? What's got your attention until we get to fall practice?
Yes, they're still, I think, kind of looking around for potentially adding another player. Michael Perez, the Italian kid, 25, 4-star. His name's been thrown out quite a bit. I guess I exchanged messages with him recently, and I got the sense he doesn't really have any idea what's going on with his recruitment because he's got people handling it, and it's like, he said other schools were going to get involved, and I asked him which ones, and he didn't know. So, it's kind of hard to read that situation to where, he visited Nebraska, he loved the trip. There's a lot to like about his fit, threat system, all that good stuff. But when international players, they have these basically agents that do 90 to 95% of the legwork on recruitment, it's just hard to know where exactly things stand, what other schools are getting involved, what the priority are with the team around a guy like that. So anyway, so there's guys like that are on the radar, but I don't think Nebraska's going out of its way to break the bank to try to get somebody. If they do add another player, I get the sense that it'll probably be a developmental piece, just somebody else that can fill out the roster, give themselves another option with some depth. But I don't envision anything coming in with the guy being a potential day one starter at this point. Right now, the roster, I think, kind of is what it is for the most part.
There you have it from Robin Washut of Husker Online, covering Husker hoops for them over there, part of the On3 Network. Robin, great to catch up with you. Thanks a ton for your time. Hope to catch up again on some Nebraska news notes throughout the summer.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys.
Once again, thanks to Robin Washut joining us on our Allo Fiber VIP line. Allo is where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. One final segment here during On the Block. We'll wrap up the show for Thursday in just a sec.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese, with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Get ready for the largest dirt late model event in Nebraska, race fans. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is heading to Eagle Raceway's High Bank Heist on Thursday, May 15th through Saturday, May 17th. See the greatest dirt late model stars in the country compete for $10,000 to win on both Thursday and Friday, and an enormous $50,000 to win 75-lap main event on Saturday. The High Bank Heist, May 15th through May 17th at Eagle Raceway. For more info, visit eagleraceway.com. Let's go Lucas Oil Late Model Racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Yeah, boy! You're getting hungry. Very, very hungry. Now look into my clock. And when your boy Flavor Flav counts from 3, you're going to go to Cane's and you're going to order hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, and secret cane sauce. 3, 2, 1.
Order for Flavor Flav.
I guess it worked. Raising Cane's. One love.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
At Allo, we go beyond internet, bringing you faster speeds backed by an all-fiber network. We go beyond TV and phone service, delivering reliable, crystal clear connections. We go beyond customer service with local teammates and no robots for a hassle-free experience. We go beyond value, offering transparent prices with no contracts, hidden fees, or data caps. We even go beyond our office doors by working, hiring, volunteering, and living in the communities we serve. Go beyond fiber. Sign up today at allofiber.com.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best they can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. Tailored Landscapes is on the brink of spring cleanups for all their existing customers, and they have limited spots available. They trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give Tailored Landscapes a call at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of their designers and stop by the Tailored Life store in Bennett.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine and More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Are you a fan of local wine, craft beer, cider, or spirits? Don't miss SIP Nebraska's 12th anniversary celebration May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park and join others who share your passion for great drinks. Enjoy unlimited tastings, live music, delicious food, artisans, and lawn games as you celebrate Nebraska's vibrant beverage industry. And when you find one you love, you can buy a bottle to take home. Choose your ticket package at sipnebraska.com. The SIP Nebraska Spring Festival, a Blur event, May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park in Ashland.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Rolling right along here into the final segment of On the Block. Austin Orman, Jay Foreman with you for this final one. Jay, we mentioned it briefly. Nebraska gets the commitment from Trey Taylor, 2027 quarterback. He went for the old switcheroo, threw the A&M and LSU hats off the table, put the Illinois hat on. That's the home state school. Toss it off, then put the Nebraska hat on.
Yeah, I mean, he all in right now because I think Illinois was at a school yesterday. I mean, look, man, these high-profile kids, you know, they need to have their moment, and I know he did a commitment video and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's part of the deal. I mean, most importantly, you know, Nebraska got to commit, and that's the, that's the first step. And then obviously you got to continue to, I guess, foster that relationship and, and all that type of stuff.
That's the important point. Old Dad 34 asks, with the Taylor commit, do y'all think he will keep with it with 2 years before he gets to Nebraska? It's wait and see. And without reading too much into the video, because I think I agree with you. As a kid, let him have his moment. Trying to have some fun with it. He's probably the best player that school's ever seen or close to it. That, I think, is the most likely answer. But there's a part of you that worries, okay, if he's doing this for attention, if he thinks this is fun, is he going to say, nope, just kidding, to Nebraska at some point? Whether it's before 2027 or after a year or two in the program. I mean, I know the transfer portal is just kind of the thing now. So without reading too much into it, at least makes you raise your eyebrow a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. But, I mean, I think you can't really control. You can't. I wouldn't worry about anything like that. I wouldn't read into reading too much into how he tossed the hat, what has he. I mean, it was just kind of a deal. Part of the deal. And you know what? Nebraska's going to, just keep building that relationship with him and then, just see where it goes. I don't think it's something that, kids change their mind for reasons that has nothing to do with whatever school they're at. And and you know what? That's their right to do so. So Nebraska just got to continue to, because they want to build the relationship with him as well. Look, there's, and this is not in this case, but there are cases across the nation where you get a commitment and then, maybe the school's like, maybe this is not a good fit. Things can change. And so, just be happy that you got a really high ranking quarterback. And pretty much if you're a high 4-star right now, it's a chance in 2 years, because when they really look at you and evaluate, and if he continues to progress, you're getting another 5-star recruit. So that's why it was such a big deal, to be a 2027. And who knows, he might, I don't know about the reclass and stuff, but I know he's a pretty, he's a hell of a player, and be able to class up maybe, or whatever he decides to do would be an option. I think also Donovan McNabb went to his school.
Oh, so maybe he's not the best player to come out of his school.
I think he's the best football player and quarterback. Donovan McNabb was a really hell of a basketball player.
He was an NFL quarterback for a decade too. He's pretty good at that.
Yeah, we're talking about high school. You couldn't tell he was going to be that. He was Donovan McNabb could flat out hoop.
You play him?
I've seen him play. I did when he was in shape. Not anymore.
Yeah, I want him too.
Look, the kid's good. To be a sophomore. I don't think many sophomores started at that level in Illinois back then. Donovan was pretty special, but you got to remember he was, he had the drive, and I think this is homegrown talent. So I think he's more of a recent, obviously legendary type of player.
What we got on Old School?
I got some rankings coming out. I also got quarterback rankings, recruiting rankings. It's interesting. There's a couple teams that jumped up in there, and it's 2027. But dang, I don't know what's happening down there in Lawrence. Boy, they must have got an influx of money or something.
Landslide pulled effect.
But they haven't won that much. Yeah, they got a lot of really good in-state recruits. So we'll see what happens. Things can change. So, that's what we're going to dive into, and then obviously we'll take a peek at my favorite thing, which is the portal.
That vortex.
Fran Brown's doing some things out there, man. He got a couple big linemen. Interior, yeah. So look, at linemen are the new pass rushers, quarterbacks now. The offensive linemen and good ones are premium. So you got to come on.
That ain't the truth. He's Jay Foreman. I'm Austin Orman. It'll be us with you for Old School with Foreman and Orman. That'll come your way in just a sec. Big thanks to Love Volleyball Omaha and Heartland of Nebraska Windows for their sponsorship of this segment. Don't forget, tomorrow, 11 a.m., Fired Up Friday at the Mercado, 84th and Havelock. Get down there early. First come, first serve. Stick with us. Old School in a sec on the ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNT